into it because this is a call where we want to dig in and equip and empower you with the things that are necessary to make sure that you can get to the next level. And it all starts in the base. It all starts in the base. My name's Brian Delaney. I'm direct to Edward Pritchett. If you don't know me, I think everybody who I see on the screen, I think I know you pretty well, right? But for all of you who are out there, and I'm grateful to be able to be a part of the leverage that Edward has today because he gave me that opportunity 14 years ago. And I've got some guests here with us today in order to help not only learn how to get agents activated quicker, how to have them reset quicker, and how to make more out of the resets. And what we're going to do today is we're going to help you get there. We're going to help you get there. I think I have Mr. Jordan Hunt on the call with me, if I'm not mistaken.
What's
Jordan,
up? What's happening, man?
how you doing, brother?
I'm good.
I'm used to
great.
being on these calls with Edward,
Fired up, bro.
with Brad, with Griff, with the whole. These guys are traveling all across the
man.
country for the pre-ignition tour. So I'm glad you're here, man.
Man, it's good. It's good. It's good to be here. It's good to see everybody. If you guys are doing well, man, it's good.
Very good, very good. So today, what we wanted to do was take some time on 3 steps. How do we get the new people activated as quickly as possible, right? How do we get new people activated? And some of you might have heard about doing the flat tire list. Some of you may have heard about how the impact that that's having and how that's been a catalyst to get to the next level. And that's something that Jordan Hunt has brought into the agency, and not only is Jordan a 130, he's on the advisory board. He's a senior vice president, but most importantly, he's in his base, not just saying, "Hey, everybody else go be the example," but out there creating an example. And one of the examples, and I got to talk to her before this call, is Miss Brittany Zemick, who's in your base, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
$22,000 in place business this week. This week. Not this month, right? 22,000. It wasn't like that for her 90 days ago.
No.
But it was like that because you helped her to create momentum in the start. And I know there's so many other people who are winning at an absolutely high level. But talk us through what it looks like to help people to win on that flat tire list from day one, from the day they become ready to write to get activated, and how is that going to help them, and how has that been creating massive momentum in your base shop?
Yeah, love that, man. Jordan Hunt, man, Director Brian Delaney, man. Good to be here. Good to see everybody. I just want to say this, man, that what Brittany is doing, man, she's just incredible. I take little to no credit for any of that, Brian, because you and I both know, man, we can tell 100 people, man, to do the same thing, but there's going to be one person, man, that just chooses to actually do it. And we don't choose the players, man. The players get to choose themselves, man. So shout out to her on that, guys. Very quickly, and I'm gonna pass it over to some other people here. We have our activation, from ready to write to new writers over 50% on the year, right? And that's just direct. I'm talking about just direct hires that I've had over the year. And that's with over 60 direct ready to writes on the year, right? So this isn't a small sample size that we're talking about. But one of the things, and I know there's a lot of people that have different formulas for this, man. They have different ways that they use. One of the key things for me is that I'm having conversations with my people and I'm telling them, like, hey, there are 2 things that you can invest in the beginning in order to get in front of people, right? You know what you can do, man? You can invest time or you can invest money. Doesn't matter to me, whichever one you want to invest, but we have to be realistic about the fact that you're not going to go out there and buy and get your insurance license, okay? And wake up the next day and there's going to be 50 of your neighbors standing on your front porch just saying, "Oh my God, I heard you got your insurance license. I can't wait to buy some insurance from you." That's not going to happen, okay? And a lot of people think that that's going to happen whenever they get their insurance license, but it's our job to let them know, like, hey, it's going to take something. You can invest time or you can invest money. I don't care which one you want to invest, but you have to be realistic about the fact that my job as a mentor is to help you solve problems. So if you don't bring me problems that need to be solved, there's really not a reason for us to be spending a whole lot of time together. And it's our job to make sure that we're setting that up right. Okay. So what I'm going to talk about is something that works for me, something that works for me inside of my team. We have what's called a flat tire list. And I heard about this from Luke Jackson on my team, and we've just kind of worked on it and tinkered on it. And basically what it is, guys, is I tell my agents, just like, hey, you can go out here and you can invest a minimum of $300 in leads your first week, or we can go out here and invest a little bit of your time, a little bit of your ego, and we can go out here and help some people in your warm market. Which one of those do you want to do? Well, Jordan, can you show me how to make about 2 to 3 grand in my first week to week and a half? I absolutely can, Brian. Let me show you how we do that. What I want you to do, I don't know if I can share or not, but I'm going to show you this right here's the script that I give them. And I'm not really prepared. So what I did was I literally just snapped a picture and I'm just sharing. I'm just going to share it here. Do you guys see that? Yeah. I just see Brad's, man. Can you guys see this, Brian?
Got it.
Yes.
Sweet.
100%.
So this is what I tell them, guys. I say, hey, listen, what your job, I'm going to give you some homework, and this homework needs to be done inside of the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay, guys, that's very, very important. Whenever we don't need to just tell them what to do. We need to tell them when they need to have it completed by. All right. And I tell my people, I'm like, hey, I'm going to meet with you. I don't get to choose that. You get to choose that because if you don't go out and fill any of these out, there's probably not anything that I'm going to be able to help you with. So I don't get to choose how much of my time you get. You're going to get to choose that based on the activity that you are doing. So this is what I have them to do. I say, hey, listen, imagine if you were broken down on the side of the road, okay, and you had a flat tire and it's 3 a.m. I want you to think about who's the first person on your list that you're going to be calling to come pull you out of the side of the road. All right. And if they don't answer, who's the second person? And if they don't answer, who's going to be your third person? And if they don't answer, who's going to be your fourth person? Okay. On and on and on. All right. Until you get a minimum of 10. Okay. Listen, you have to know a minimum of 10 people on planet Earth. Okay. I don't care. Right? Like we have to be realistic about this stuff, guys. Okay. Most agents walk in the door and they say that they have a capital problem, Brian. And what I am finding out is they actually have a commitment and a discipline and an ego problem. All right. And our ego is the most expensive thing that we own. And it's because it costs us the most. All right. Do you know why Brittany Zimmick wrote 28 grand inside of her first month? It's because she filled out 28 of these, and we went out there and we filled them out, Brian. So this is what she made a list of 28. Now there's a second step to this I'm going to get to, but anyway, all they do, I have these new agents, they're going to make that list and they're going to call these people and say, hey, I just started a new sales position. Part of my training for my manager is that I have to do 10 practice appointments to practice my script and my presentation. Would you be willing to be one of my 10? It's that the moment that they say yes, guys, this is what we do. Let me show this other one now. Boom. Man, I'm all over the place right now. Can you guys see this? You guys see this? Okay, this is just a CQF. We call it a flat tire CQF. And I have my agents to fill this thing out, Brian. And this is all it is. And the moment that person says, yeah, sure, I'm willing to be one of your 10, they're going to begin to fill this out. I don't care if it's mama. I don't care if it's a cousin. I don't care if it's their neighbor. I don't care if it's the cat lady that lives next door. I don't really care. I don't care what it is. But what I tell them is this. Average agents get 10. Good agents get 20, right? The best agents, they're getting 30 and more. And just see what they do. How about we challenge people, right? And stop saying just because you're unwilling to do it, assuming that other people aren't going to be willing to do it. But guys, the changes and the differences on here, do you see where it says the life insurance portion? We're getting all of that information up front. What carrier are they with, right? Is it a term? Is it a whole life? Okay, how long have you had? Do you know if you have any cash value? What do you actually have? And then the second piece down here is going to be this assets, right? We're asking them questions about their 401k, about their stocks, about their savings, all that stuff from everyone inside of their warm market. And they're getting this, guys. I just had an agent. His name is Eric Schmidt. Okay, he's been with us maybe 5 months, maybe 6 months now, something like that. His first week, he went out and he filled some of these out. And then you know what? He had somebody, it was one of his neighbors, Brian, and they said, yeah, man, I could really use a $10,000 burial insurance policy. Eric goes down and sits with him, fills out this form, and he asks him this question that is on this form. And he says, hey, are you 100% certain you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have some doubt? The guy was like, I don't really know, man. Like, I'm not sure about it, but I've got this in my bedroom. Goes to his bedroom, comes back out. He uncovered over $400,000 sitting in an old 401k that wasn't performing well. Eric grabbed that, rolled it over. Eric was paid over $17,000 in commissions from that, guys. He has placed over $1 million now in annuity volume in his first 4 months. He did that, and all of it came from his flat tire lists. All of it came from there. Now, if you have a new agent, if you're a brand new agent out there, my question to you would be this: how many problems in your life would be solved if we could put a $17,000 check in your bank account inside of the next couple weeks? Maybe not all of them, Brian, but I guarantee you a vast majority of them would be that, right? Derek Brock, I'm looking at you up there on my screen. How many people have we recruited over the years that we never put this information in their hands, that they had a mom, a dad, a cousin, a brother, somebody that had a 401k sitting somewhere that had no idea that we had the ability to help them out with that? How much of your recruiting budget could be covered with that kind of stuff? I've had one agent that has covered my recruiting budget for the next 2 years, Brian, from production off of this flat tire list. What are we talking about?
That's right. And
I'm fired up, man. I'm done. I'm fired up. I'm done. I'm done with it.
There's so many examples of this. Like if you're on this call right now and you've done business off of your flat tire, put that in the chat. Put just FT in the chat. FT in the chat, because I know Jasmine Schill wrote $100,000 in premium in her first 6 months off of using this. That's all I know, right? I don't know how you're going to use it. I just know how these people who are in the chat, how they're using it. I don't know how you're helping your agents get momentum. All I know is they tend to build more momentum and they tend to speed up quicker with a lot of gas in their tank. And this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity to create resets on the front end. And here's the other thing is, there's a lot of people here who say, oh man, I need that form. I need that form. I need that form. I want to encourage you that this was a small change that was made to a form that was on HQ, and there was nothing that was holding you back from doing that. So what's the next thing you're going to take ownership over as an agency owner, right? 100% ownership is not in the agency owner handbook. That's in the third cornerstone. That's in the third cornerstone. What if the company is just waiting on your next great idea in order to innovate and unlock the potential of the people who you're bringing in order to raise the stakes for the whole entire company, right? And that's exactly the point. Is how do we go from the flat tire client qualification form, because you've done such a great job on that, to getting more of the FIF resets. And so I want to go. I know right now he's doing a meeting here in Grand Rapids, and so he had to join us by phone. But Regional Agency Director, Mr. Ian Graham, just absolutely crushing it on focusing on results early. Go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Jordan, I don't know how are you supposed to talk when you sit down? This isn't right. But if I
you better stand up.
If I stand up, I'm in the back office of my office. There's 6 little offices in here, and I don't have my sit-to-stand desk in front of me. If I start standing, I'm going to pace around this room, and people are going to get dizzy. So I'm going to try this whole sit thing. I don't like it, but we can do hard things, Brian. We can do hard things. So I appreciate you guys having me on, Jordan, and you introducing the flat tire to us a while back in June, and now to this entire organization. I'm pretty fired up, Brian, because here's the deal. Drop a me in the chat if you're on this line and you're sick and tired of seeing Marshall Whalen's agency ahead of Edward Pritchett's. Drop a me in the chat. All right, we should have 503 me's, because this agency is #1 in SFG. That's what I know. And here's how we're going to do it: by implementing the types of things that we're learning on these types of calls. And I'm very honored and privileged to be direct to Symmetry Financial Group by way of Sterling Gatling, Joel Steen, Trail Cloutier, Jimmy Spieldenner, Brian Delaney, and Edward Pritchett. I'm so blessed and honored to be part of this organization. It has radically changed my life for the better because of those men in my mentorship hierarchy, and for them paving the way when things weren't easy. They said, forget it. I'm gonna dive in. I'm gonna pave the way anyway. And we're able to lay out the track. So if you're brand new with us, get ready for an amazing journey that literally will be life-changing. So I'm going to talk about first day resets. Utilizing, I want to thank Jordan and his team for coming up with this flat tire list and taking something and making it better. And what we do, I also learned from Jordan, are what are called pods. So as new agents are onboarding with us, Brian, we're putting them into small groups of 2 to 5 agents, depending on who's ready to go. They've gotten their license. They've gotten their welcome email. They've gotten access to SureLC. And day one, we're discussing resets using the flat tire strategy that Jordan just walked through. Brian, if you don't mind sharing your screen and pulling up the Fast 30 initiative that Symmetry has. Thank you, sir. It's so weird being on a phone. All right, guys, the Fast 30. If you've been on a national call, you know what we're talking about here. But for any new agents, your first 30 days from the time you get opt credentials, so that welcome email, and it's not based on HQ Lite, it's based on the welcome email. So when you get that email that has opt and SureLC in it, your 30 days begins. And it's time that more of us earn a magical blue cup. And according to Casey Watkins, it is a cup that will make all of your wildest dreams come true. And I'm not one to question Casey. And so y'all want this cup. If you're brand new with us, y'all want this cup. But you submit, and if you're a builder on here, what we focus on is what grows. So are we talking about this with our brand new agents through the onboarding process? Are we getting them fired up about this so that the day one when they get opt credentials, they're ready to go and they're ready to rock and roll and earn this blue cup? And here's how you do it. In your first 30 days, you submit 5,000 APV and you set at least 5 resets. You no longer have to have an active funnel subscription in order to earn the magical blue cup. That's it. 5,000 APV and set 5 resets. Just submit 5K and book 5 resets into a calendar of a subject matter expert. The Hero Edition is submitting 10,000 APV in your first 30 days and booking at least 10 resets. And not only do you get the magical blue cup, which will make all of your wildest dreams come true, in addition to that, you get a customized bobblehead of you, and you obviously are going to earn your first promotion slingshot on either of those. And so I'm curious, Brian, I'm curious who on the line is either in onboarding, licensing, they haven't even gotten their welcome email, or who's in their first 30 days who's fired up to earn either the blue cup or the blue cup and the bobblehead. Drop a I am in the chat. I am. All right. So here's what we do with that is, Brian, in my opinion, okay, and we can all participate in this. Put the percentage of people in your life who you feel like would want to get out of debt sooner versus later. The people in your life who have debt, not everyone has debt, but let's say 99% do. Of the people who have debt, what percentage of them would want to get out of debt sooner versus later? I'm seeing 100s. Why would we be a secret agent and not talk to them about our debt-free life? Now, here's what we uncover with the flat tires. Here's what I've uncovered. I'm sure it's the same for you, Jordan, and the Hunt agency, is as people are filling out these flat tire lists to do practice appointments, because what we know is if you get 10 reps at something, whether it's on the driving range, whether it's with a guitar, whatever that thing is, you're going to be better the 11th time than you were the first. And if we get 10 practice appointments in on our flat tire list, inevitably what we have found is about 80 to 90% of the people that we do a practice appointment with actually need coverage in one way or another from one of the product solutions that we offer. Sometimes, we just had 2 pods ago, it was a young gentleman and his brother had just purchased a home, 30-year mortgage, and he's responsible for 90% of the income, and he's got a wife and kids. She works part-time, she's got 10%. They have 0 insurance. Guess what he did? He wrote a mortgage protection policy for his brother. He wasn't being a weird insurance person who was badgering his friends and family. He was being a caring brother who protected his brother's family. God forbid something were to happen to his brother. God forbid. There was another one, there's probably 3 or 4 pods ago, that had a I believe it was a cousin or nephew or someone like that, so a relative who had about $500,000 sitting in savings that he wasn't touching. It was just sitting there earning less than 1%. Guess what we were able to do? Earn closer to 5-6% without any risk of market loss. Who's excited? They don't think that he's a weird insurance person. They think he's their best friend. They think he's their best family member. If you think it's going to be weird, it's going to be weird. If you think you're going to help and add value to your friends and family, you're going to help and add value to your friends and family. We had just last month, Brian, we had Angela Baker. In her first 2 weeks, she booked 15 resets. I know that 4 have closed. I don't know how much commission she's made. 4 DFLs have closed. They're giving her referrals from that, and still some of the other 15 are in the works and through follow-ups. Because guess what people talk about? They don't generally talk about life insurance at the bar or at get-togethers or seeing their friend. Guess what they do talk about? Hey, guess what happened to me last week? I actually got started with a program where I'm paying my house, student loans, and credit cards off in 7 years instead of 25. It's nuts. Did you know that thing existed? No. What are you talking about? I got to connect you. And they're getting ASRs, after sale referrals, via the Tim Penso method. Okay. I had an agent who I hired last Wednesday, not 2 days ago, but the previous Wednesday. She passed her exam this Monday. Okay, 5 days later, she passed her exam in 5 days. We ran a pod on Thursday. We ran a pod yesterday, and she has 14 flat tire CQFs filled out as of today. 1 day later, she has 14 flat tire CQFs filled out. Katrina Thomas, give her a shout out. She is on all the calls. She is following the T. She had 6 last night, and then text again this morning in the pod text group, 14. Now, she hasn't booked any resets yet because we're 1 day into this pod process, but you better believe she's going to. And I'm excited to keep telling her story because she's the type of person who's doing the right things, who's not being weird. She's not being a secret agent. She understands the value that we have to add to families, add back into the American marketplace, into families who we know and love, not strangers who have submitted a lead, but families that we know and love, because we know that people are uncovered for 2 reasons. They're either underinsured or totally uninsured for 2 reasons, primarily. They don't know who to trust or where to start. And we can be that person that they know to trust, and now they know where to start. And we're not just going to help them out with something basic. We're going to add value in a bunch of different ways. So day 1 resets, guys. Day 1 resets. Don't be a secret agent. Back to you, Ryan.
Awesome. Go kill it out there in Grand Rapids. Thanks for everything you do, Ian. There are so many
We
people
got a powerhouse here.
I love it. There are so many people out there who have coverage that they don't understand or coverage that doesn't understand them. Now, we can't expect our new agents to understand all the different kinds of coverage. What better way to teach them underwriting than going through flat tire CQFs? That way, their friends and family members can know one of 2 things. There's something better for you, or you have the best thing, don't touch it. There's something better for you, you have the best thing, don't touch it. You're in a great position, or we can get you out of debt, all debt, including your mortgage, in 9.5 years or less. That retirement that you're worried is going to take a downfall the next time the market takes a downfall, and you don't have enough time for it to take another uptick. Whenever you lose 50%, you don't have time for it to gain the 100%. That we're going to protect you from those market losses while putting you into a great position. I don't know much, but I do know fill in the blank, your SME name. Right.
Yeah. Brian, I have a question. Like, another thing to that, guys. Every flat tire CQF that is completed is not going to, it's not going to lead to a sale. But it's the learning experience, guys. It's all those things, right, Brian? Think about this, guys. If you're here and you've been here for a while, how many applications have you closed and you've learned how to call a carrier and ask questions with the client on the phone? Anybody else ever had that happen? Right? Like, imagine, like, your agents are going to get the opportunity to do that with people that already know, like, and trust them. The reality is that there's somebody, and our agents are always going to say, man, like, I can't figure this out. Man, I don't know anybody. It's just me and my dog. Like, I don't know anybody. It's like somebody somewhere is doing more with less. Somebody somewhere was dealt a worse hand than you've been dealt, and they're winning with it. So we can keep making excuses as to why we can't have things, right? But when we argue for our limitations, our reward is that we get to keep them. So what I would challenge you to do is to go out there and just, even if you've been here for 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, 6 months, and you haven't done that, there's no better time than today, right? Than to go out there, grab that CQF, and just start filling this stuff out. You will figure it out as you go along. 99% of what you know about anything that you know, you learned by doing it. Stop being the kid that's sitting on the side of the pool, that when you walk up to the pool, he's got floaties on and he's got a book, and you're like, hey, dude, what are you doing? He's like, nothing, man, I'm just learning to swim. We're like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? What does that kid need to do? What does he need to do? He needs to jump in the freaking water. That's all you have to do. We're going to be in here, right? You know why most people hesitate, Brian, and they hesitate? It's because they're overthinking things. They're overthinking. And you know what, man? You know what I've never done? I've never lost sleep at night for overthinking a positive scenario, only negative ones. Have you ever done that before, Brian? Have you ever slept at night, Brian, and it was just like, oh my God, what if my business does too well? Oh my God, I'm so concerned about what if I make too much money? Anybody ever had that happen? Oh my gosh, what if I hire way too many agents, Kathleen? What would ever happen? No, what do? We always overthink negative outcomes and what could happen. And what we do, we hesitate because we're trying to control that. And listen, our ego is the most expensive thing that we own, because whenever we're fearful to reach out to people, you're not thinking about them. You're only thinking about you. You're only thinking about you, right? So get beyond ourselves and start thinking about other people and the impacts that it can actually have.
So good. So good. In order to create those impacts, you might be saying, well, I don't know how to ask the questions. I don't know how to present this. And even as an SME, you might have a limited question pool. So we wanted to bring somebody else on here. He's not only a managing vice president, he's an elite producer, going out and defining what it looks like to be profitable from the front, to lead his team in when it comes to helping his team get their advanced market business done. He absolutely crushes this, and he crushes it because not of the statements he makes, the questions he asks, and his willingness to follow up and follow through on making sure that people get protected. Mr. Josh Manzano.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you
Fired
doing?
up. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Josh Manzano, I'm Director Cemetery and Alvarado and Brad Smith and Pritchett. So happy to be here to help.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know when you get on the phone, when been a reset done, first and foremost, how can people who are resetting, what kind of questions can they ask in order to create the best opportunity for their SME for that reset to help that family the most?
Yeah, it's I mean, I hope everyone feels overwhelmed right now in the last 37 minutes, because that means we're growing, right? And the level of your success is determined by the questions that you ask in your lifetime, right? And if we're not asking these questions, just uncovering other opportunities, we're losing out on 30% more income for our entire year, for our entire agency, right? And I want everyone to think about what they made last year. Add 30%. What is that? Put in the chat. What is 30% added to your income from last year? Put that in the chat. And I don't think they know, Brian, that Jordan, Brian, myself, and Ian, we're not at 130%. We're at 160% because we ask these questions. And I've always put that in my mind is like, when I was at 100%, I'm actually at 130 because I'm asking these questions. When I'm at 80%, right, I'm actually at 110 because I'm asking these questions. And just some to start off with some huge wins and recent wins that people are about to get paid a split on some of these resets. Kaylin Crowley is about to get paid over $8,000 just for asking a couple questions. Jacqueline Hamui is about to get paid over $4,000 just for asking a couple questions, right? Chris Talbert about to get paid $3,500 just from asking a couple questions. Like, what would you guys do with that? And it's just a couple questions from 30,000 to 8,000, right? And my highest check that I've ever split was $20,000 just for asking a couple questions, right? Who would want to know those questions? And if we're not asking these in every single appointment, we're losing the opportunity. Look at all these numbers: $20,000, $28,000, like 27. Like, adding that to your income is life-changing, right? What can you do with that? What can your family do with that? So Cemetery has made it very easy with technology, with HQ, with tracking, to do the hard work by just asking the questions. And when do we do that? Like, inside the appointment. It's not adding to your presentation. It's just part of our presentation that we have to make it, because we're here for one reason: to help American families, right? We didn't grow up to be insurance agents in kindergarten and say, I want to be part of Cemetery Financial and insurance agent, right? Like, no. But every over 500 people have one thing in common. We all wanted to help someone. We all wanted to help people in our lifetime, right? And it just happens we fall into insurance. So not only are we helping them with mortgage protection, life insurance, that's always a low-hanging fruit. We're asking additional questions to uncover more opportunities. So I'm going to share what's in HQ, and then I'm going to hop to the actual PDF that's in HQ. And let me know if you guys see this. It's financial information form in HQ. You put your lead in, if you can search for the lead, or if it's a referral, you put in your referral name, and it goes step by step, helping you uncover other opportunities. So you put in their mortgage amount, you put in their monthly expenses, their additional assets, how much they're contributing to it. Are they contributing to it? Is there an employee contribution? What's the purpose of it? And I'm going to get deeper into this. We're going to get real practical. Do they have additional insurance? This is great for our industry. They believe in insurance already. That's the hardest part. They already believe in it. Why not better their situation? We work with A+ rated carriers that provide the most competitive rates. I'm chomping at the bit when they already have insurance. It's my job's half done. They already believe in it. They're looking for more insurance, right? They're already contributing $200 a month. The least I'm walking away is $200 sale because I know I can put them in a better position. Their wages, okay, and then it gives you a little summary. What does it look like? Their additional assets, their client is paying more, 300 more than their employer's contribution. These are green flags that we can uncover. And then you just press this little thing right here and it helps you with the script, right? That's basic. And in here is a tally of their expenses, of their totals. They have a 3,200, or their expenses are 32. But their surplus is 2,800 to invest in insurance, right? This client cannot say I can't afford it because it's right here, right? And that helps us with additional opportunities. Let's say that you can hit this little button, easy reset, and each one that pops up, if they're in debt, or if they have a retirement, you click this button. It shows you an entire script on what to walk the client down. And then you have SMEs. I'm fortunate enough to be a part of a team to develop the top SMEs in my agency that are just crushing it. Like, they're capable, confident, competent. And if you reset them, not all resets close, right? But it's another opportunity, right? And if you get really good at asking these questions, it's just a part of your presentation. So I'm going to share this PDF that's also in HQ to get better at asking these type of questions. Because when you're filling out an application, the first question that you should not ask is, Brian, what's your social security number? And look them straight in the eyes, right? That's the worst thing you can do, right? So there's a way to ask these questions in order for them to drop their wall and give you that information. So I'm going to kind of walk through practically and how that sounds. And Brian, you can stop me at any time if you have any questions. You see this FIF form. This is located in HQ. It's the same in the same area of FIF resets. But we should be using this every single appointment to gather information. This can take one lead and create 4, right? And the reason that the Manzano Master Agency has the issue per agent, it's above average, is because we have multiple products per home. Not just selling the mortgage protection, but asking the questions like, why are you over contributing to your retirement? Let's maximize that. Maybe get them into a pension maxing IUL. Right? That's 2 products, right? For one household. And when you have 2 products for one household, that you have a client for life. The next time someone calls them, from a different carrier, different insurance, and tries to sell them, you're that person. If you ever got that objection, oh, I got a guy or I got a girl, that's what we want. We are that guy, we are that girl when we have 2 or more products. That's why the FIF is always the lead, because you can take the FIF and develop one lead because they sent it in, and turn into 4 or 5 in this situation. So in the beginning of your presentation of mortgage protection, life insurance, this is what we're getting. After we got their health, you gave them the opening statement. We're getting down to the information that we need. Their lender. What's your mortgage? You have one mortgage or multiple ones? Why is that important? Because maybe they need coverage on both, not just one, right? If you share value and the importance of insurance, they get coverage on both of the mortgages if they die, right? And that's leverage. So you're asking them, what's the term of it? 30, 20 years, the loan amount, payment. Here's where it gets really good is all accelerated. What are you making overpayments to pay your mortgage off faster? If they are, I'm making a note because what can we do? Put it in the chat. If they're making overpayments, what can we do? I don't want to vomit on them right there and say, hey, we got a DFL product and it's going to pay your mortgage off right then and there, and that's the first question that we ask them. No, it's plain poker. Okay, we're note taking ourselves to ask them later on in the Columbo close. If you don't know what that is, Google it. So asking, are you over contributing? Okay, great. You're over contributing $1,000. Okay, is that consistent? Or is it just one time a year? That is also important, right? Is it consistently every single year or every single month? Then we get to the insurance part, and this just correlates what I just showed you in HQ. What type of insurance do you have? Do you have anything, other than work life insurance? You have personal life insurance. What's your face amount? Is it 100,000? What's the purpose of it? And this is important. Why? They want it for life insurance, for final expenses, for whatever they say. I'm taking notes on it. The premiums, cash value. If they say, yeah, I have some cash value. Okay, do you get a monthly statement every single year? If they say no, what do you think? Do they have a cash value? No, they don't get a monthly statement. Terms don't get monthly statements. These are all things that you learn throughout your career. The carrier, and when does this expire? Oh, it doesn't expire. Okay, that's interesting. It doesn't expire ever. Like it just lasts for forever. And the more you do this business, if they have $100,000 of coverage and their premiums are $20 a month, and they tell you it never expires, that should be a red flag, right? This is not a permanent product, right? But you're getting this information because we're going to use this later on. If you guys are doing policy pickups, this is perfect to not play your cards right now. Hey, we can replace this, this 100,000. We do not want to say this right here. Play your cards right. We're just gathering information. Any other insurance, you want to ask if they have multiple ones. And that way we can set up that policy pickup to make the proper recommendation. Now, a statement going from insurance to assets, this is that Social Security look them in the eye question that you don't want to. So after you ask for the insurance information, Brian, what's in your 401k? I need the exact number.
I don't know the exact number.
I'm just the insurance agent to them, right?
Yeah.
You're just the insurance agent. Why are you asking that, Brian?
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to come off like that. So the transition statement, if you guys are taking notes, just like you're able to make a beneficiary for your life insurance policy in case they die, same thing it is for your assets. You're able to make a beneficiary. What would you say you have in your 401k approximately, Brian?
Approximately, I've got about 600,000 in there.
You see how de-escalating that is? Like you just disarm them, and it was nonchalant. It wasn't the Social Security looked them in the eye. I gave them a reason why we asked for it, because it's true. You do provide a beneficiary for their 401ks. If they don't have it, that's a red flag. That's healthy, right? But they're more susceptible to giving me that information. Okay, Brian said he had 600,000. Okay, great. I'm notating it right in here. Okay, what's the current value? You said 600. Are you contributing to your current employer?
No, that's from an old 401k.
That's from an old 401k. Okay, double check mark. But I'm not saying, oh my God, We have this best SME. We can roll that over into an annuity fixed index. These allocations that they're talking about is crazy. You can earn way more. You're probably paying fees. Let's do this now. Wait, okay? Play your cards right. Just notate it. And Brian, what's the purpose of that?
That's just as of right now, that's just for retirement income.
That's for retirement income. Okay, I'm writing retirement income. Okay, why is this important? A couple things. People don't use retirement for their life insurance. Okay, this is before we ask quality questions in our mortgage protection presentation. If we ask them what happens when you die tomorrow, how long would you be able to stay at home? And they say, "Oh, I'm going to use this 600K for whatever I need if I die." But Brian, you said that this is for retirement. When you correct that to your clients, there's something goes on in the brain. They're like, "Yeah, I actually did say that." And then you follow up with people don't use their life insurance for mortgage protection. So this form is actually doing a few things for us. It's preparing us for what the clients are going to use as fuel against us, and preparing us to use that as handling the objections, handling the concerns, not only gathering the information, to help uncover other opportunities for a reset, but look at how it does. Look at how it benefits us for the mortgage protection sale, right? We're there for low-hanging fruit, 100% until after the sale or after the no sale. Okay, you're going down the FIF. Let's say that do you have any other IRAs, annuities?
Yeah, I've got my IRA with my current company.
Okay,
Yeah.
and are you contributing to that?
Yeah, I'm currently contributing.
And what's your current value on them approximately?
Approximately about 125,000.
Okay, 125. And I'm notating on my notes. I'm printing this out if I do it digitally, that this is current. Do they match you or not?
I'm not 100% sure if they match me currently.
Okay. Do you think if they did match you that you would know that?
I'd probably know about money that they were giving me.
It's free money. If someone gave you free money, you would know about that, right?
I would know about it. I would know
So
about it.
just that little, okay, I don't know if you guys are picking it up. Just that little bit of knowledge. If someone is matching you, normally if it's their employer, they're matching up to a certain amount. Usually it's about 3, sometimes 6%. Okay. We need to know that, because anything more, they're over contributing. If they're over contributing, what can we do with that? Put it in the chat. If they're over contributing the match, that's a pension maxing IUL that we can present to them, right? And you're going through their expenses. You want to know what their expenses. We are an insurance advisor. This is where we run into people that if we present a mortgage protection option, the ones that say I can't afford it. There's people that really can't afford it because they're living paycheck to paycheck. But then the rest, they just want to pay it. And this exposes that. All their expenses, if all their expenses add up to $2,000, but they make 3,500 and the surplus is 1,500, they can afford it. It's not a matter of they don't want to pay it because it's exposed right there. Okay, so what you're saying is, Brian, you have combined income and your spouse's income, and you do the calculations where they're surplusing 1,500. Like, we got them. We don't have them yet, but we know that they can't lie to us and say I can't afford it, because they can't. And then lastly, what debt do you have in place? Any credit cards, student loans, personal loans, debt. And I want to get the exact number of the loan, the minimum, and are you overpaying the minimum? If it's a credit card, what's your loan? What's the credit card? Is it 20 grand? Okay, 20 grand. What's the minimum on that? 600? Are you overpaying that? And they say yes. I'm writing down the overpayment, because what can we use that for in the chat? Right? How many opportunities did I uncover just asking a couple questions? And I held my cards. I'm not saying anything right now because we're worried about protecting their family after filling out this FIF form. But regardless of the result, whether it's a sale or no sale, I'm going back to this 600,000, this 125, the debt that they have, the insurance, right? If they have insurance, I won't even make it past that, no sale or no sale, because I'm picking that up before I even show them any options, right? So Brian, this is why you can make 30% more just picking up this FIF form and then resetting the SME that's on your team, to present to them. And you don't need to know about 401ks. You don't need to know about IRAs or annuities or debt. Hey, that's a great, if they ask you anything that's regarding that, that's a great question, Brian. That's a good question to ask Jordan Hunt. He can see you tomorrow, same time. Are you and your wife available? Great. I have his schedule here. He can see you at 6:30 p.m. Right? Like we're setting each other up as the expert, and someday you might be the expert and set yourself up. Hey, we're worried about this right now, and I can help you with many more. But I'm going to get your family protected today because that's the main point, and that's how you get 30% more. Just asking and filling out these questions is so critical because we're not just helping them with mortgage protection or life insurance. It's so much more that we can help. And if you're interested in what that looks like, what does an IUL do? What does an annuity do? Get with your mentor and really say, what's the benefits that you're giving my clients so I kind of understand, but you don't need to know. The less you know as a resetter is actually really good. It helps you. And if you want to know, you can go on ride along with your SME, do the qualifications, and become an SME, and help your clients, help your team, help your agency do what they do best.
It's so good. Now let's real quick before we go. What's the best thing that somebody can say? They get to the end. They've kept it simple. They asked the questions when they found out that they started to run out of questions. They moved down into the need, right? They let the people know that they're going to apply today. They go over the options, they select the options. They know that there's something that they saw. They saw an overpayment, or they think they may have seen something. What's the best thing that someone can say at the end of the appointment after they've helped them with that mortgage protection? Or even if they haven't, but let's just say they have.
They trust you, don't they? Right? They trust you with the social, the bank information, like all of that. They trust you already. Do you think they want you to do you think they would mind you helping them even more? Probably not, right? We have a expert that specializes in 401ks to help you maximize, especially if it's not, your current 401k. They'll get you that information and it's strictly education, because you're a valued client, and they can see you tomorrow evening. His name's Jordan Hunt. I don't know what he does with the clients, but they send him Christmas cards and cookies and all this Danishes all the time. So he must be helping them out. So whatever you do with that information is totally up to you, but with 6:30 work for you tomorrow.
So simple. So
Do you know how much we've made, let's say as an agency, just by that?
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
Gander, a lot.
A lot. A lot. Yeah. So do you think you can do that? Put a yes in the chat. Do you think you can do that?
I love it. I
agree.
What was that number, Brian? I think it was per reset. Per reset was a little over 300 APV.
Yep.
So think about that, guys. Not a closed reset, right? The math that we did, okay, working with Brian, and that was through the company. Like we got those numbers from the company. I got that data from the company, okay? Worked with Kate Doyle to get that. The average APV for every reset that is just submitted is a little over 300 APV. So you think about that. For every 3 that you send up, that's going to be 1,000 APV that you're going to get on average. Doesn't matter what happens, if they show, if they don't show, you have to get we have to get consumed with the activity and forfeit the results that are going to happen with that. But what would happen if we would just get sold out to no matter what? It's not something that we do in addition to a sale or a process, Josh. This is just simply what we do every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And listen, the most important part is not for you to know everything, it's for you to know the person who knows what they need to know, right? And for you to put them on a call and schedule that appointment. And for you to be there to do the handoff. Don't just put it on somebody else's calendar and say they do all the work. They know you and they're going to trust the handoff. And it's a tag team, right? If I book something on Joel's calendar, it's really simple. At the end of the appointment, I say this one thing. Hey, just based on what I've seen here, just based on what I've seen here, you need to talk with this guy Joel. He's what we call a subject matter expert, and I don't know everything about what he does. All I know is the longer people know him, the more he's able to change their life. Right? I've got I've got him right now. It looks like he's available at either 4:30 or 6:30. Which one of those times is going to be better? And I do a handoff. Right? I do a handoff. It can be as simple as that. Then I get on and I edify. And if it's the first time I do that, I stay on the whole appointment. But here's the thing, I edify and then I mute out. I shut up for the rest of the time and I'm just there to listen. I'm just there to listen and learn because I just want to see what that process is like. And if you want to become an SME, that's exactly the process you go through. But I will tell you, there is nothing better than getting paid because an SME did most of the work. It's so great. It's so great. You would not believe how good it feels, right? And so when you're in that position, here's what you get to do. You get to reset to somebody like Devin Fleming, and she gets to help out her clients, and she's in a position where not only did she do 10K in mortgage protection, but she got over 50K in deposits because of doing being an SME and having resets done. Why? Because if you look at the number that we get paid, it's about the size of the problems we solve. And there are so many people out there with these financial problems that don't have real solutions. They don't have real guidance, and they don't have the tools to get there. And you're opening up the door so that somebody who would never have a financial advisor even step foot in their house because they don't have enough net worth can now get expert advice that's going to help them get to the next level of financial freedom in their life. That's the opportunity you have. The opportunity you have is to raise up your income to the next level. The opportunity you have is to show other people how to be financially free. And the biggest opportunity that I'll tell you that you have is to make sure that you're committed to Ignite and you're deciding how many people am I going to bring there with me? How fat are their pockets going to be because of how big the problems they're going to have solved. Are they just going to solve one problem per home? Or are they going to solve two? Are they going to work with an SME to solve 3 to 4 problems in each home and then work from referrals from there? The opportunities are endless, but the time is now to take the first step. And that's all you have to do is take that next step. And that next step for you, take one question away from this training and add that to your script for next week. And the way that happens, 10 sits, 2 resets, right? Work this business in 2 boxes, just like Casey Watkins was saying. 10 sits, 2 resets. Let other people know how much money you're making as a result of the problems that you're solving, how many people you're helping. Ask them if they want to do the same thing. It can be just that simple, and it really can be just that good. And there's so many people on here who are experiencing that, and so many more people out there who want to. So open up the door, just like Edward Pritchett opened up the door for me. Just like so many people have had this opportunity as a result of Edward Pritchett crossing that bridge, let's pay that back in blowing up his agency so he never sees $4 million again. I never want the 4 to be at the beginning of that number, but in order to do that, it's not just what we can do, it's what we do together. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Let's go make it happen this week. There's a lot of these families who need this done before the end of the year. Let's help them solve their problems. Let's get financially free. Let's get it to the next level. Thank you, guys.